Don't forget to go live. Oh, there you are.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Monday, here we go. Are you ready? So today we're going to talk about relationships. Oh, that's a big one. It is a big one. Everybody has relationships issue, and I'm knocking the studio over here this morning. But we all have relationship issues, whether they are with our partner, whether they are with our coworkers, whether they are with friends or aunts, uncles, you name it, bosses. We have relationships. But as this journey on MBR Radio that I was so honored to be part of, I wanted to start taking you guys through that journey of that soldier. You know, in the first episode, we talked about the life purpose, soul purpose. And we kind of touched on that relationship. I go, oh, we're going to talk about that later. And then we talked about some other things, the guilts, and we talked about little parts of relationships. But now I really want to dig in. I want, if you were a vet or you're still in the military, I want you to go all the way back to the days before you went in, to the days that you went in before all this other stuff happened. Why? Because sometimes most of our heart chakra, which is how we feel, or our sacrals or our solars, we have these skeletons. They're not even inside the military. The military actually brings it out and we didn't even know it. These traumas are actually from either our child past traumas, or they are issues and events with our relationships before we went. How many people went in there and severed all negative emotions before they left? Or you just walked away? Which one? How many people were so happy and said, I'll be back, I'll see you, and be so happy to know that you had that rising support. Did you have the rising support? I don't know. But these are questions, and we're going to talk about coming in, during, and after. So let's get to the nitty-gritty. Before we went into the military, we obviously had a lot of discussions with either boyfriends, girlfriends, whether our immediate family, our friends. You know, some of us decided that we're just going to run away from our issues. Some of us decided that, you know, it's the best thing for me. Again, how did we go in? Did we go in ROTC? Did we go in? I mean, we were in high school. We were in the juniors. Did we go into one of the academies with scholarships? Did we get pushed in because we may have little issues? Remember, we went back in that was first episode. So all of these play a trigger, and these triggers help us define who we are today, right? What do we need to let go of? How deep is it? How deep in our soul do these triggers come up? Pretty deep, because we buried them, we suppressed them. So if we ran from issues, we suppressed it. But then, like I'm going to tell you, when you come back, they're hard. They're harder to handle. So even if you're not in the military, and you go to college, like you step away, or you graduate high school. This is the perfect time. Everyone's graduating right now. They're graduating college, they're graduating high school. So their norms, right? Same as the military, the norms right now are changing for them. Their whole life is just been uprooted. And these are trigger points. These trigger points give us emotions. Are we the adventure seekers where the gypsies are, let's go, let's see the world? You don't care what comes up, and sometimes you'll see it in the cards where you'll see the fool, right? In those, the Prakana cards, you'll see it's the fool just traveling, going, right? But who says that's wrong? Man with their judgments, man with their ego says that's wrong. You have to have this. You don't have to have crap. You have to be happy. You have to love you. And if you don't love you, then I'm not quite sure how or why that you can't go forward. So anybody who's listening to this and who's thinking to depart to college, depart to the military, depart because you just graduated, now you're on your own, big move, big move. Embrace it. Embrace whatever's coming at you as a life learning lesson, as joy. However, don't run. Don't run from anybody. Don't run from situations. Don't even run from you, right? Because we're the best person to run from our own feelings. Why do we do that? Why do we run? Too emotional, too hard, too scared? Have the fear? What's the fear? Where's the anxiety? Where does all this happen? I have no idea, but this can't happen. And I'm not quite sure why, but it does happen. So for me, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to wait and see what comes in. I believe that everybody has decisions. I believe everybody has choices. I believe everybody who makes choices, there's an action and a reaction. How well did you think it over? How well did you study it? Did you have a partner before you departed? Long distance relationships, they're hard. They're very hard. There's a lot of trust involved. A lot of trust. Do you trust them? Are you able to trust them? Are you able to say without a doubt, I love you. I will raise you. I'm going to send you my love. I'm going to, no matter what, I will wait for you. That's Penelope, right? In Damsel in Distress. While the man goes off. That's an old paradigm. That's an old conditioned pattern that we face every person who departs, whether it's the military, whether it's college, whether it's just leaving home. That's a paradigm that is truly just, what's the word I want? Heartbreaking, right? You don't want to leave a comfort. You don't want to leave a conditioned pattern. When we have comfort and conditioned patterns, we tend not to like to step out of those boxes, right? That's a box we put ourselves in. The problem is when you step in these boxes, where are you going with it? Where are you going with it? I don't know. I don't know. Because those boxes keep us from having an enjoyment in life. They keep us from seeing what true beauty and the awareness of what we're doing goes in. It's crazy, but it's true. We got to get out of those boxes to heal this guy and to heal this guy. We got to step out. We got to look from the outside. We got to look in. How is this helping? How are you helping me? Is this a good idea? Am I putting restrictions on my loved ones as I depart? Or do I say the old cliche, if you love something, you set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. In dynamic of us, people having a partner, I don't care who your partner is. We all have a different ideology of good partner, bad partner. This isn't supposed to be, and this isn't how this is supposed to work. And when you love somebody, you don't care if they're male, female, trans. You don't care. You love them, right? You love them for who they are because they have either done something very, very gracious and honorable for you, or they have become that life stronghold that raises your vibration to the point that it made you who you are. And you thank that person very much. And you say, because I am leaving, please enjoy. If I'm back and you're still, here I am. Do we think that way? No, we don't. Why? That's ego. That's our self-ego going, okay. I need to do this, but you just stay right here. No, here you go. You both do your dynamics and you both come in. And you both do your dynamics and you both come in. Why? Because that's how you know how your relationships, whether it's a friend, an aunt, a mom, a dad, an uncle, your partner of life, you know that. You know for anything, you know that they're going to love you the same way that you love them. Now, how much do you love them? Now you go, now you're alone. So now we're going to step out, right? We're going to step out of that. And now we're starting our adventure, right? Here we go. The hobo with our backpack, because that's about all you're allowed in the military. You know, most of the kids in college and most of the kids leaving school, they got the clothes that fit them, their shoes, maybe a toothbrush. Now what? Now where do we go? Did your upbringing help you to go forward? Did your upbringing show you? I mean, baffled the other day. I'm going to say it again. Baffled about the finances. Thank God Tony's doing that. Baffled that the people have taken that realm out. Holy crap. The whole time that we are on this earth, there has to be an exchange, some type of exchange to get. There was, I mean, from caveman times, they bartered, right? They bartered the women beating grains to the men getting the food, to the meat. They bartered. Okay, you give me the meat, I give you the grain. From caveman time. So what the heck are we doing as humans that we can't understand that philosophy? We got to flip it, baby. Got to flip it. We have to flip it so that it is just a beautiful path for us to go down. Don't leave people hanging. Don't leave them hanging because you're going to journey out. Don't do it. Because that's going to mean that you're going to have to receive the phone calls, receive the emails. Yes, as a military person, the last thing I'm going to tell you, in 2 weeks, I only left for 2 weeks. And my head was like, what the hell did I just do? Right? The gypsy inside of me was like, shut up. Let's go. But my heart was like, oh, these people don't love me the way my family loves me, like my partner loved me, like my friends love me, right? It was tough. It was tough. You got pickled. We call it the pickled. I don't know what they call it now, but they call it the pickled. You were stripped. I had beautiful long hair, and I felt like G.I. Jane, and they just stripped it. It's tough. Relationships, they're tough. And then you want to write, but you don't get a letter back. Why? They got busy. They had other things in mind and then all of a sudden our mind goes, well, you don't love me. You forgot me. There's the ego. Why? Why do you need that validation of love? Why do you need that support of others when your journey on life purpose was taking you a different way? What happened to that? Where was that? I don't know. I don't know where that went. I don't even understand now why I did that. I wanted to hold on to my boyfriend so much. And then every time we talked, it was tears. It was frustration. It was like combating each other. And there was nothing I could do. Like, he wanted me home. Well, great. But I can't. How many of you are in that? Right? That sucked. Come home. You tell Uncle Sam, just come home, right? Yeah, we put ourselves in these predicaments, and then you kind of get pushback and heart, and they hurt. The tears, like the breathing. I hurt somebody because I left. Yeah, same with kids. The people with children in the military, and they get uprooted. Some of these babies, we're going to talk about that. Got to take a break, but as soon as we do, we're going to come back and we are going to get more in depth with that. So I love Mitch Rossell, and we're going to play him. So You're watching MBR Radio. I'm MJ with the World of Conscious Positivity, Thinking in Paradigms. And here we go. We're going to go to break, and we'll see you back in a minute.
Been home about 6 months now, and I still have my doubts. Well, I'm not sure how I got here or how I'm gonna get out. Well, my mama says I look the same as I did before I left. But if she could see inside of me, it would scare her to death. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run." And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, and weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Last Saturday they honored us in a small parade downtown. And when they shot off those fireworks, I nearly hit the ground. And while they smiled and cheered for us, all I could do was stare. 'Cause part of me is here at home, but part of me's back there. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run." And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, and weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. They taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Yeah, there's no end in sight. 'Cause even though I'm home now, I'm still fighting for my life. Well, I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun, and I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run." And I can feel the backpack on my shoulders, God, and weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Well, they taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Well, the devil's won some battles, and he may win some more, but don't he know the American soldier will always win the war?
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
MJ, you're muted.
Hey, how's that? Can you hear me now? Sorry about that. You probably just saw my lips like ducks, blah, 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 blah. But it's all good now. So now I'm back. So that was Mitch. Welcome back. I'm MJ. You're listening to the World of Conscious Positive Thinking. And that was Mitch Rossell. If you didn't hear me because I was muted, it's all good. This is how we learn, right? We have these beautiful things and you can't get angry with them. You just have to keep going. Okay, that's a life learning lesson. Relationships, they're all about life learning lessons. It is what it is. And these beautiful, beautiful, I'm not sure what else to say besides relationships. They boggle our minds because in the past, you watched everything work, right? There were so many people who fought to be together, fought, right? Fought to have a friendship, fought to have a family. Then you bring in, I'm here you go. They always say money is evil. I think social media is evil. I think that people are not healed. And our relationships get caught up in it because there is a sector of our heart that's not healed. And I mean by trust, by envy, by jealousy. These all create an emotion of anger, resentment, right? And frustration. So when we have this balance, right? So on this side, right? This is our right side of the brain. This is all spiritual, right? And then we have the left side. This is all theoretical. You tap, splits it. That means ego, superego, and id can't live. Breathe again. Why are we doing this? Dig deep. Ask yourself, why are you spanning through social media to find something? Why are you out there looking to create issues? Why? Because you don't have trust? Because you have a gut sense that something's wrong? You have a gut sense. So imagine now, as the military person, or even as people who are in life, generally, so I'm going to try to tap both here. The military, you're too far away, especially if you're on tour. But you got a gut feeling something at home ain't right. Where's your head? Now where's your mind? What's happening? That decision to stay. Again, I did it. That decision to stay with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife. That's a hard lesson for me to learn. I know some of you out there, it probably was tough for you. A lot of military end up in divorce just because of this reason. They have a gut feeling, or they can't deal with the emotions that's happening in their life in order for them to function going straight. So self-love to both. Where's self-love to both? Self-image, self-processing. Where are we? Where are we in our heart and in our mind? Are we thinking by our mind? You got a gut feeling, and then you get a friend calling going, hey, how's it going with so-and-so? You still married? You still together? Then you can start getting these phone calls. You're like, wait, what, is there something I don't know? And I am across the world? What is it? Tell me. And then you start hearing the chatter, the gossip, the ill will, right? I said it yesterday, last night, and I did post it. 2 or more people talking negatively about the same person creates them to even go further in a hole. And the 2 people or 2 or more who are talking and gossiping, you're going to go down. It's karma. And it's called a gaslight. You're a gaslighter. Don't do it. In your relationships, if you do it, it'll fail. It is not happening. So this thing that we love with our throat, we speak truth. We speak love. We speak endurance. Yeah, we do. We speak all. And we have to be able to commit. If you're not going to commit and you want to have these emotions or these feelings, they're life lessons. They are. Now we've learned, right? If you had to go through it, now you've learned. Nope, it's not for me. No, maybe the sex was good. That's why it was for you at the time, right? We talked about oxytocin levels back in the second one, right? That's a hard one too, because all you want is love. And unfortunately, the only way for a human in our physical bodies to have love is oxytocin. And if you don't feel love, you got to fulfill that. And sometimes self-gratification of self-love doesn't release it. We all know that. Helps, but doesn't release that energetic entwine of the Kundalini expressing itself, a Shakti and Shiva energy. If you don't know what that means, look it up. It's another show. But that's what it takes. And The Shiva energy can be very strong. That's the male energy. It can be very dominating, very strong. But when you have the female Shakti energy, that's a fire working its way up our body, there's determination and will. Female energy has a lot of determination and will, especially now with the Me Too movement. No, I am not part of Me Too movement. I don't believe in it. I believe in balance. I believe that every side has to have a balance. There's not a mental man's health and a mental woman. No, stop it. It's a balance. You both have to be healthy at the same time, and you both have to be present at the same time. And it's not one way or the other. So a lot of conditions that we have transitioned into come with that. That's that transition where we have to be able to balance who we are and who they are, and honor and respect each of it. You may not like something, but it's okay. It's not you, right? You turn it off. Like I told you yesterday, I had to turn them off. I wanted to form relationships with some people. I could not agree with their stance. I could not agree with what they were doing. I think there's a lot of healing that had to take place in relationships. We have to heal our relationship, even with our friends. Our friends sometimes will disagree. It is up to us to smile and say, okay, we're going to agree to disagree. And it's okay, because these are just life lessons and patterns that maybe either I or they didn't go through. So we have to figure them out. And when we figure those out, life becomes just a very beautiful, peaceful balance. And in the awareness of light and love that surrounds us with Mother Nature, with the Father, Mother, God who created it. Again, they created the tree and didn't create the chair. That was man. So be careful what we believe with conditioned patterns. Be careful what our friends' interpretations are. Did you ever play the telephone as a kid? The little get the message, they give the message and it says the dog ran after the cat, and that was the message in the little phone, and you're supposed to whisper it all the way around the little groups. And when it comes back, it doesn't say the dog chased the cat, right? It says the cat was in the tree, or the dog was in the house and the cat was back. It comes anything else besides the small little thing that was said. If you ever watched The Big Bang Show, Sheldon and Amy make this huge big, let's see how far it gets. And it was, they had coordinates and now Amy's pregnant. And before the guy got up the steps, boom, it was like, oh my God, you're pregnant? That's just it. It's like, how in the world can we change human condition if we can't change ourselves? That's the bottom line in relationships. That's where it has to be. And when that happens, then it becomes a better one. That's how it works. That's how easy it works. It is owning our faults, owning our emotion, owning our behavior. I know the groups that I have down here, whether they're military or not. I said, what was your part? Ask yourself that all the time. Breathe. What was your part? Well, I shouldn't have said that. Well, I started that fire. Well, good. You're owning it. Congratulations, because that's the best moment of healing is when you own it, right? The 12 steps of people who have addictions, right? It's 12 steps. Owning is the big part. Knowing. Once you know, that road is open. That road is so open that you can just go because now you've owned it. But there's a lot of shame. Why does our ego want to shame us? Is that derived from a background of family, society, shoving underneath the rug theory? So here's our relationships and we're shoving shit underneath the rug because we're not honest. Then what? When you're not honest? Because you don't want to hurt their feelings? No, you don't want to hurt your feelings. Come on, own who you are. Own it. Because you shunning from somebody, I'm not saying be nasty. I'm saying with respect and love. You either understand or you don't understand. And if you don't understand, now it's time, please make me understand. Help me to understand you. Help me so that we can balance every relationship issue there is out there, right? How many people on the front line? How many people in the military are departing from their stuff? Here we are. And we have, how come you didn't call me? How come you didn't text me? I've been waiting. Do you need that? Ask yourself that. I understand some of you out there are going to say, but MJ, I didn't know. I didn't know that's how it was going to be. I had no idea that's how it was going to be. I know people who go in the military for a job thinking, oh, I'm going to become a nurse. And they never think once. They never think once. Becoming a nurse in the military, they would have to do the front line. What were you thinking? Who was it? Big Grizz? I think it was Big Grizz who said, I mean, when you sign up, you know you're going to be on that. You have that chance you're going to be at war. Yeah, unconsciously, but not consciously. You see the difference between the unconscious and the conscious? And nobody has that. Hi, Neva. Thank you. I know it's a little tricky to find me. I see you, sweetheart. Thank you. And it just is one of them. Folks, I got to take a break. I'm looking here. So this is MBR Radio, and I'm right now going to be taking a break, but we're going to come back and we're going to expand on that because it's really important, and we all need to see that firsthand. So let me go. We're going to go.
Introducing LT Defense Tactical Gear, your ultimate solution for top-notch protection and performance in the field. Our armor bundles provide unmatched safety and comfort, while our battle belts and holsters ensure quick and easy access to your gear. Stay prepared for any situation with our high-quality medical supplies, designed to keep you ready for action at all times. Looking to enhance
Hey, here we are. I'm back. It was a quick one because I want to get back into this really quick. We were right on the apex about this, feeling guilty, feeling within us. Then we get to angers. Then we get to resentments. Then we get to shit, man. I have a job I need to do. Yeah. Stressful relationships in itself, besides being in the military. You know, they say bull riding is probably one of the dangerous jobs there is for 8 seconds. Try putting the bull rider's life on line with gunfire and not a horn. I don't know. Smelling that ammo, right? Watching the explosions, watching the death, smelling that blood. It's that, right? People at home can't understand it. Nurses, doctors, first responders see death a lot. Right? Why didn't you pick up the phone? Well, I don't know. I was giving somebody CPR. The stupid phones and the stupid medias. How about we put conscious positive out there? And then sometimes our relationships can understand that they don't have to fear. They don't have to worry about the crap, the insignificant crap in life. Right? I don't like it. Once you let it go, and once you can see the positive solution, and once you can see that they haven't grown maturely, you really tend to turn it off. And unfortunately, in our relationships, we get this frustration, and it's easier to say, we're done, and walk away. Take the easy road. But is it really easy? Because I'm going to tell you something, what's going to happen. You're going to relive it. You're going to relive it. If you don't fix it and balance it, you will relive it. And then we have something that we call patterns, right? So how many of you out there in relationships are like, here we go again, the same shit. Here we go again. Why am I in this again? Why does this always happen to me? Think about those words. And the minute you say them, I want you to think about MJ, right? Shit, there it is. It's a pattern. These are the unconscious words that are triggers that create patterns. So it's telling you, here I go again, and your mouth is speaking, but the mind's not listening, right? The higher self, the unconscious, right? Our shadows. Here you go again. When you go learn, you're going to take that easy road again? That easy road sucks. Why? Because sometimes that easy road is not meant for us. So you got to really pay attention. You got to pay attention to these feelings. They have to go deep. And sometimes, I know I'm gonna get blasted again by the military, but if you didn't have fear on that front line, why the hell do you have fear with emotion? They're gonna come back to me and they're gonna go, but MJ, there was fear, but you did it, you made it, you're living, you're here today, aren't you? You're alive today. Yeah, I got a yellow tooth. Yeah, I got scars all over my body. Yeah, I might be listening arms length, but you know what? You're here today to tell your story. You're here today to make a change. You're here today for that life purpose. Wake up. Wake up, America. Wake up. Be aware. Be aware of what's around you in all relationships. It doesn't have to be a husband and wife. It doesn't have to be a couple. Relationships. Do you have a relationship with your community? Do you have a relationship for your fellow man? Come on. Let's start thinking positive. If you wouldn't like something said to you, why are you saying it to them? If you want to put somebody underneath a stranglehold, are you a gaslighter? Are you a narcissist? What is going on? Why aren't you getting help? Oh, MJ, people, I hear it all the time. MJ, it's hard. Okay. But you're here. So you might think it's hard, but you're listening and you're coming to have counseling with me. Okay, it's hard. So cry, punch a bag, go fishing, go hunting, go do whatever you do to relieve that anxiety. But don't sit with it. Talk to somebody. There's a ton of us out here. There's more people in the conscious positive realm and believing in the highest form of faith than ever in history on this earth. Did you know that? And that makes me giggle because I love that. That is like, wow, people are waking up. The awareness, right? The awareness of it. And to me, I honor it. The awareness. Oh, Diana just checked in. Diana, I love you, my sister. She's one of my masters who taught me the word of awareness, who taught me deep inside where I have to go for that. The awareness. I know it's not called this, but I like saying it. It's called many minds with many masters. And when you learn something, you move on, you move to the next one. Anytime that you learn something, it's building you to go to the next step, building relationships, building how we see, building what we do. But we don't condemn, we don't judge, we don't place our ego. Why? Because it hurts. It hurts us. It hurts them. So what's the best thing that you can do? What is the best thing that you possibly could do when you're separating? You ask that person, are you good with me going? Take in consideration everybody around you. Don't just think about yourself. I didn't say don't give yourself self-love. Please don't misunderstand that. I didn't say that. I said think of all. We are that I am of Christ light. Every single one of us, we were here because God made us. Now we got to dig deep to find that. Because that man, Christ, he walked this earth as a man and tried hard to prove the point. So did Hare Krishna. So did a lot of them. So did Sanabal. Right? So did Isis. All these beautiful beings, Durga, Wan Yin. What religion do you want me to go to? I'll speak in it. 12 different ones I've studied. So you tell me which religion you want, but we're all the same. We all come from the same God. I don't care what you all think, we all do. And when you raise your vibration and you come out here and you are full tilt and honest and respect of others, these relationship issues don't need to be there. Period. Yep, we have to go through some because of our past life, our cellular data. Yep. And guess what? You're going to be like, woo, I was waiting for you to come. I might cry. There's no shame in it. I call them diamonds. Remember, they're diamonds, right? They're the hardest freaking thing. Once they go, we're done. We've learned the life lesson. We don't have to learn it again. If diamonds come out of our eyes for sadness, that's a humbling. That's not what we're talking about. When we're sad, we're humbled to know how much we have learned and gained in our vibration of Christ's light within us. No guilt, no remorse. I understand we killed people. I understand we bombed them. I understand it. But who the hell is anybody to judge you? Who? Nobody. You were assigned like an archangel. You were assigned as a Templar. Yep. People have to do it. They have to. There's no other way. No other way. So I want you really to understand before I have to go to break again. Open up your heart. Open up the consciousness of your mind. Let the dark nights of the souls come for understanding and welcome them with a smile. Remember we talked about, we're going to trick the ego. We're going to get it out. We're going to trick it. We're going to turn it. We're going to twist it. Not saying that we don't have life lessons, and some of them are very hard. But when we come to conscious positivity, you laugh. And it just turns that all around. Going, no, I'm not good. My ego's not going to make that. Nope. Get out. We are conditioned with that ego in relationships. We are conditioned to be that person. Especially, I love the people who are in relationships, get red-handedly caught. Lying, cheating, caught. And here they are, the narcissist, the gaslighter, blaming now the other person. Well, it's your fault. Your fault I did it. Okay. Because you had free will and it's my fault. Okay. How is it my fault? No collaboration. That's where we're at. No collaboration. And when we don't have collaboration, it falls apart. Imagine now having that distance with no collaboration. Ooh, it gets worse. I lived it to the point that when I got break and I got to go back home to see my boyfriend, it was anger. It was resentment. It was a killing field. He got so angry, he took out a switch knife and he slammed it in that freaking old Oldsmobile. I'll never forget it, that station wagon, missing my hand by inches. Yeah. Been there. Relationships. Done it. Wake up. Right? My love, wake up. Moji Baba. Wake up. Why did it have to get to that point? Because I couldn't let go. My heartstrings said no. But my stubborn ego was in the way. So when we learn to say, I love you and I'll set you free, and I know if you're mine, you'll come back. I love the love stories that you have, the puppy loves in school, right? I have a couple of my friends in high school. They both split. They both went to 2 different colleges. They both did their thing. 15 years later, they got married. There you go. They left, they came back. They left, they came back. What a beautiful heart that is. You come in and you come in right back into heart. Why? Because you had to get things done in life. You had to. There was no other choice. It is the way it is. There is certain things in life that you are assigned, right? Your life purpose, soul purpose. And it didn't involve that at the moment. There's a reason of the season for every person you meet. You might only meet somebody and be in an hour, and that hour, that 1 hour took you guys to the whole next level of balance of life because you had to learn it, or they had to learn it. But then you don't see them again and you're like, man, that conversation took me. Yes, you purposely put people in your path for these reasons, purposely. It is done that way. It is beautiful that way. And when we can understand that, do some triggers, relaxation methods, right? Where do we go? How do we have our downtime? Where do you go? You know what? I want to go to break. I'm going to show you one of the best downtimes there is on a commercial. Yep, I own it. It's called Esmeralda Salty Air Retreat, a.k.a. I'm Esmeralda, MJ, Mary Jo, Airman, Lieutenant Lynn. I don't care what you want to call me. Same person, and the same values, and the same morals, and the same conditions. I didn't take all of what my mom and dad said with me because that was an old paradigm. It's an old thinking. So if relationships have that old patterns and old thinkings, you might want to consider changing with time and evolution. Time is nothing. Time is void of space. I mean, listen to Joe Dispenza. You'll hear that one, right? There's no such thing as time or space. We're multi-dimensional beings, whether you like it or not. And we're electromagnetic beings, whether you like it or not. Gonna get back. We're gonna be right back. I'm MJ. This is MBR Radio. We're gonna go to commercial and we'll be right back with you. This cave is a one-stop shop to heal whatever ails you. Whether you just need downtime, whether you need respiratory or lymphatic, blood pressures, just any type of program that is medically necessary to you, I am sure salt's going to play one of those factors. I mean, we use saline for our eyes, we use salt water for our ears, we gargle with salt water for when we have sore throats, and we're even putting salt water spray, nasal sprays by our doctors up our nose. Except most of these things that are by our big pharma or our doctors are actually not salts, like Epsom salt. It's not even a salt. This is true to form. We're not kidding anybody. The properties are what they are. You can look it up in science magazines, health magazines. Himalayan salt is the only salt you want. You can digest it, you can eat it, burn it, you can lay in it like tub baths. You can use the actual steams with all the minerals so that you can actually put those minerals back in our skin and our face over hot steamy water. Salt, when you put the light on, sometimes they sweat and sometimes they water. Oh my gosh, my rock is leaking water. And that is the most perfect rock. I always tell everybody, I want that rock back. Because 1 out of every 100 rocks might sweat. And that's, it doesn't mean it's bad or good. It just means it's that much better. It's just that much better, right? Because we don't do negatives here. We do anything that's positive, that's what we do. Except our ions, we have to keep our ions negative. Why? Because the negative ion in the density of the salt creates our body to be a higher in pH balance, right? So that's the goal. Our goal is to raise our body in pH, lower the acidity level, because then we all become healthy. Healthy like weight, healthy like bacterias, viruses, fungus, none of them can penetrate. So that's the cool thing about our salt. So why not take a seat and get every amount of healing that your body can actually have for 1 hour in the salt cave. Let's get healthy together.
opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Okay, there you have it. Please help support. We're back. This is MBR Radio. Please help support. There's so many different beautiful Lady Liberty Foundations out there. Jersey Mike's supports us. Dunkin' Donuts supports us. If you have a company out there, I know economy is really tough, but reach out. You can go to mbrradio.us and you can help support some of these DJs out there who are looking and struggling like everybody else with the economy and, you know, our mental acuities. And it's beautiful. Anyway, let's get back at these relationships. So now you can see some of these things, right? How it can be very frustrating to people who take off for a new adventure and leaving behind their family, friends, partners, whatever, right? Now we're coming back from college. We had all this free will. We could do whatever we wanted, right? Or now we come back from the military. Rules are changed. People have changed, right? Depending on how long we were away. 2 years, 4 years, 6 months. I mean, 6 months. 6 months is a lot of change because time cannot stand still. As much as we want it to stand still for our service, it cannot. And we have to understand that. Whether you are a student going off to college, whether you're in the military, it doesn't matter. When you pull yourself away from a nucleus, that means change is happening. Has to happen. Has to. Why? Because you were part of something in the nucleus. Now somebody has to pick up that slack, right? Think about it. You can't just not take the garbage out after 2 years, 6 months, 8 months, 4 years, whatever. Is that your job? I mean, on the simple form, right? That was your job in that nucleus of a community. So now you come back, you don't know where you fit. You don't know how you can fit back in because you want to do stuff and you're like, somebody's touching, I got it. It's my job. Well, where do I fit in? So not only do we have to learn how to get back into a nucleus, the people who are the nucleus who loves us, right? They're the ones writing, they're the ones calling, they're the ones who held us in prayer. Ask them, collaborate. How do I fit back in? What can I do? Where is it? How? It's hard. It's really hard, especially if you got debriefed, right? Like I said, there's a lot of different debriefs. I know how they debriefed me. 3 months I was in a black room with headsets, being told who I was, what I did. Sucks that they did that because that's where the PTSD lies. Here it comes 30 years later, 20, 30 years, and you're getting these flashbacks. You don't know what the hell is happening. You're like, that was me? Flashbacks. And your family and friends are like, what's wrong with you? What's the matter with you? That's a whole different story. These are all problems. These are all relationship issues that have to be leveled and figured out and balanced. Is the partner that you've been expecting capable of doing that? There's the word vet again. Do we vet them? Do we honor that time? Well, we didn't leave them go. Or if we did leave them go, here they are. They're still waiting for me, right? So something has to be there, right, MJ? Probably. Plausible. Everything's plausible. Anything that you want in life is plausible. It's how you get your brain to wrap around it. You don't want PTSD? You don't want anger? Well, let's get our brain wrapped around it, right? You want to fit back into a nucleus? Then you collaborate. What can I do to help balance now that I'm back? Is there a place for me? And if they say no, who are you to fight that? Don't come back with, ego breast, Tom Turkey, ready with your tails up, right? Oh, I just went off for you, for your freedom. Yeah. And you're not going to honor me? No, that's not the case. They did honor you and they allowed you to do your life purpose because that was your choice. So let's twist twist it, right? Same thing as kids going off to college, right? But we have to. Why? Because it builds us. It makes us mature. It makes us grow. It allows us to become who we are in our life purpose and our soul purpose. But the more our ego fights it, is the worse it's going to get. Yep. Do we have traumas? Yep. Are there beautiful people who gave us our freedom living homelessly? Okay, here we go again. All these people, Lady Liberty, 22. There's a whole bunch of them out there for vets. Push them that way. American Legion's really good, in my opinion. I know people say no, VFWs are good, but you got to get to know them. If you don't know them, ask them, what's your chapter? What's going on? Do it. Because coming back with relationships is hard, especially if it's a long period of time. Like I said, there's a higher divorce rate with military people than there is in everyday life. But the everyday life's catching up because of social media. It is. And because of just, there wasn't a way of tracking people. There weren't cameras on every damn street light. There wasn't a cameras on every person's houses. So people used to get away with a lot. So when I see all these cameras now, do I look as it's invading my privacy, or am I looking at it smiling going, it's keeping you honest? It's keeping you on the straight and narrow, isn't it? Cutting down on the crime. But then again, if your administration doesn't give a shit about illegals or about crime and they're just money conscious, what good are the cameras? Seriously. What good is the freedom of speech when it's being blocked? Relationships, you don't have to see eye to eye, but you have to be willing to balance. You have to be willing to associate that you were taken out of a nucleus and now you have to find a place. Yes. Does that cringe your style? Yeah, because that's your ego, right? New adventures, new times. Every day is a new day. Every day is a beautiful, glorious, beautiful, beautiful awareness of how beautiful everything is. Look at that. If you can't look at anything else, look outside and watch the wind blow the trees. Listen to it. What's it saying? Everything's going to be all right. 3 little birds upon my doorstep. It's going to be okay. Beautiful Bob Marley, One Love. Shows you that movie's beautiful. Shows you the adversity that he had to go through just to live. Folks, I'm out of time. You're listening to mbrradio.us. Talk, rewind on Spotify, YouTube. My name is MJ. I hope that your world becomes very positive and consciously how we think with that paradigm. There's more about relationships we're going to get into, but this is what I just want you to think about for now. And I'm going to tell you one of the phrases that people know me here in Miami. May the angels carry you with peace, love, grace, joy, happiness, and abundance of what it is that you desire most. Catch you next Monday.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight, anywhere that you can get your podcast episodes. And thanks for joining us today. I'd like to take a moment to talk about something close to my heart. Military Broadcast Radio is doing incredible work to support our veterans and bring their voices to the world. They rely on your generous donations and your dedicated volunteer hours to make it happen.